This training DVD has been developed as a precursor to face-to-face coaching-based assessment for clinical staff working in an area with access to emergency equipment and extra personnel. It is essential that you watch this before you attend your face-to-face session, where you will be supported to demonstrate proficiency in the following skills: recognition and confirmation of cardiac arrest, activation of emergency call using 2222, provision of effective good quality chest compressions, safe and competent defibrillation, effective airway management, and effective bag and mask ventilation. Individualised coaching will be provided on a one-to-one basis to support you during your assessment. The first part of the DVD will demonstrate the above competencies in real time. This will be followed by a repeat demonstration, this time with a running commentary to provide an explanation of the essential priorities and necessary skills.
Mr. Begbie, I was going to get you. Mr. Begbie. Mr. Begbie! Help! Can somebody help me?
Jolly, what's happened?
He's collapsed, David. He's not breathing, I don't think. Can you get a cardiac arrest trolley?
Okay.
You okay, Jolly? Nina, can you put a 2222 call out? Yeah. Station 2A Hospital.
Jolly.
You alright to do that?
If you keep doing that for now, I'll put the teeth up here.
Adult must insert connector firmly. Apply pads. Stay clear of patient. Analyzing. Stay clear.
You get your ocean of it? I'll go back to the
Shock advised.
Okay.
Stay clear.
Shocks after clear, auction away,
Deliver shock.
delivered.
Shock delivered. Begin CPR.
Okay. Right, David, I'm going to take the bed
Okay.
out. Alright. Mix off. Okay. Brakes back on. Attached up, Jolly. I'll connect it. Connectors? Yeah. Okay, David, I've got to see.
Okay, I'll start. Put them.
I can get them a good day. A good day. Thanks, Jolly. Alright.
20, 30.
2. We're halfway through, guys.
Okay.
Okay. David, if you're tiring, I'll swap over with you in the next cycle.
Okay, I'll finish this cycle.
Stop CPR.
Okay, so back to
Stay
the auction
clear
meeting.
of patient. Analyzing. Stay clear. No shock
That's what I
advised.
advise, so back to CPR. At the table.
Begin CPR.
Healthcare professionals should use a standardised approach to assess anyone who appears to be in a collapsed state. This should be doctors A, B, C. D for danger, R for response, S to shout for help. A for airway, B for breathing, C to call 22222 and start CPR. Danger. Ensure your personal safety. Response. Assess if the patient is responsive by gently shaking his shoulders and asking loudly, "Are you all right?" If the patient does not respond, shout for help and pull the emergency buzzer if available. Ask any responders to bring the emergency trolley. Airway. Open the airway using a head tilt and chin lift. Breathing. Continue to use both hands to maintain the airway whilst looking, listening and feeling for normal, effortless breathing. This should take less than 10 seconds. Occasional gasps, slow, laboured or noisy breathing, often referred to as agonal breathing, is common immediately after a cardiac arrest. This is not normal breathing, and if you have any doubt whether breathing is normal or not, act as if it isn't. If there is no normal breathing or normal signs of life, call 2222 for the cardiac arrest team as soon as cardiac arrest has been confirmed. One person must start CPR and ask another member of staff to call the cardiac arrest team. The cardiac arrest team should be summoned as follows. Dial 2222, wait for the operator to answer, clearly state cardiac arrest, your location and the hospital from which you are calling. Await confirmation from the switchboard operator. Do not hang up until you are certain that the operator has all the necessary information. The priority is to start chest compressions whilst waiting for the emergency equipment and the resuscitation team. Place the heel of one hand in the centre of the victim's chest. The correct hand position for chest compressions is the centre of the bony part of the chest. Place the heel of your other hand on top of the first hand. Interlock the fingers of your hands and ensure that pressure is not applied over the victim's ribs. Do not apply any pressure over the upper part of the abdomen or the bottom end of the bony sternum. The recommended depth of compressions is 5 to 6 centimetres. The rate is at least 100 to 120 per minute, and that's approximately 2 chest compressions per second. Allow the chest to completely recoil in between each chest compression. Minimise interruptions and ensure high quality chest compressions. The person providing chest compressions should change every 2 minutes or earlier if unable to continue with these high quality compressions. This change should be done with minimal interruptions to compressions. The next priority is to attach the defibrillator when it arrives. Switch on the automated external defibrillator machine and follow the audio-visual prompts. Apply self-adhesive defibrillator pads to the patient. These should be applied whilst chest compressions are ongoing. Place one pad to the right of the sternum below the clavicle and place the other pad approximately over the position of the apex of the heart in the mid-axillary line. To illustrate further, this would be where a well-fitting bra would wrap around the side of the chest. It is important that this pad is placed sufficiently laterally and it is clear of any breast tissue. Care should be taken to ensure that there is no air trapped between skin and the pad is in contact with dry skin only. The pad should not come into contact with any metal such as ECG electrodes, jewellery or zips or water. Although most automated defibrillator pads are labelled left and right or carry a picture of their correct placement, it does not matter if their positions are reversed. If this happens in error, the pads should not be removed and replaced because this wastes time and they may not adhere adequately when reattached. The victim's chest must be sufficiently exposed to enable correct pad placement. Excessive chest hair will prevent the pad adhering to the skin and will interfere with electrical contact. Shave the chest only if the hair is excessive, and even then spend as little time as possible on this. Do not delay defibrillation if a razor is not immediately available. Follow the automated prompts to ensure that the end of the defibrillator pad's connector is plugged into the defibrillator.
Insert Insert connector.
For the Philips XL, the end of the defibrillator pad's cable should be connected to the black connector cable located at the side of the defibrillator. For the FR3, the red defibrillator, the end of the defibrillator pad's cable should be plugged in next to the flashing light.
Stay clear of patient.
As soon as the pads have been plugged into the defibrillator, it will start to analyse the rhythm. Ensure that nobody touches the victim during rhythm analysis. If a shock is indicated, ensure that nobody touches the victim and that any oxygen has been removed approximately 1 metre away. Ensure that everyone, which includes you, is safe with visual checks, verbal and non-verbal warnings using one raised hand to emphasise danger. Wait for the shock button to flash orange and push as directed, ensuring that it is still safe to do so.
Shock delivered.
Immediately resume CPR using a ratio of 30 compressions to 2 rescue breaths. If no shock is indicated, immediately resume CPR using a ratio of 30 chest compressions to 2 rescue breaths. Continue as directed for 2-minute cycles by the voice or visual prompts. Do not stop chest compressions and ventilations during the 2-minute cycles unless there are clear signs of life from the patient. The importance of uninterrupted chest compressions cannot be overemphasised. Even short interruptions to chest compressions are disastrous for outcomes, and every effort must be made to ensure that effective chest compressions are maintained throughout the resuscitation attempt. The person providing chest compressions should change about every 2 minutes or earlier if unable to continue high quality chest compressions. This change should be done with minimal interruptions to these all-important chest compressions. Following rhythm analysis and defibrillation if indicated, the next priority is airway and ventilation. As soon as the equipment and sufficient staff are available, the airway should be managed optimally. Maintain the airway using head tilt, chin lift and jaw thrust. These simple positional methods are successful in most cases where obstruction is caused by a loss of muscle tone in the pharynx. Effective bag and mask ventilation normally requires 2 people. One person holds the face mask in place, pushing the mask onto the face and lifting the jaw into the mask to create a seal as the head is also tilted back. The other person should then squeeze the bag enough only so that the chest rises visibly and then release. Deliver each breath over approximately 1 second and give a volume that corresponds to normal chest wall movement. If there are difficulties in maintaining a patent airway, an adjunct such as an oropharyngeal airway can be used. This must be sized correctly. Measure the oropharyngeal airway vertically from the bony angle of the jaw to the upper incisors. Insert the airway into the mouth in an upside down fashion before rotating 180 degrees and prepare for the next set of ventilations. After 2 minutes of CPR, follow the defibrillator's audio and visual prompts. Continue to plan rows in advance, including rotation of chest compressor to avoid fatigue. Safety issues should also be addressed and planned for when chest compressions are ongoing. In summary, use doctors ABC to support recognition and confirmation of cardiac arrest. Activate the emergency call using 2222. Provide effective, good quality chest compressions. Safe and competent defibrillation. Ensure effective airway management and ventilation, and provision of effective bag and mask ventilation.